There are just so many things to learn to become an interior designer. If you are in interior design school, you are probably being bombarded with tons of information, whether that is software such as AutoCAD, SketchUp, Revit, construction drawings, theory, space planning. There's just so many things that we need to know. And all these things are great and quite necessary for you to be able to practice interior design in a professional way. But there is one skill that you should be learning because, in my opinion, it is the single most important skill in interior design. Before I tell you about this magical skill, because I do think that it is magical, I want you to know the difference between skill and knowledge. You have probably heard from the KSA framework. And if you haven't, let me explain to you. When you are applying for a job, there is this thing that employers look at, which is the knowledge, skills, and abilities framework. So the first thing that the employer will look into is that the potential employee has the knowledge, skills, and abilities to perform the job. So in the case of this being an interior design position, knowledge refers to the theoretical and practical understanding of interior spaces. And luckily for most of us, we all learn this in interior design school. And that is really the reason that we go to interior design school for. They will also assess whether you have the skills of an interior designer. These are technical and manual proficiencies that you learned throughout training and experience. I am sure that it required a little bit of training and practice to fully understand programs such as AutoCAD and SketchUp, for example. After you acquire certain knowledge about these programs, you acquire a skill, which is to be able to create floor plans and elevations and sections with these programs. And the same applies to hand drawings. At some point, you had to learn the theory behind perspective drawings, and after a while, you acquired the skill to create these drawings yourself. And last but not least is your abilities. Having a certain ability means to be able to demonstrate in present time the capacity to express your knowledge and your skills simultaneously. I hope this is making sense. Your abilities are basically like your talents, basically your ability to do something. So there are the natural abilities, which are the abilities that you are born with, and there are the abilities that you learn and you improve over time with practice. Some examples would be keen attention to detail, good communication skills, etc. To give you an example in the interior design context, some people are born with the ability of being extremely creative, while other people need to improve this ability over time. Okay, so now that you remember the difference between skill and ability, I will tell you the single most important skill in interior design, and that is sketching. And by the way, sketching can be considered an ability and also a skill, and you will understand why later. So why sketching? There are really a number of reasons. Okay, so the first one is very simple. It looks very cool. Sketches and hand drawings have this wow factor because people find it really impressive when someone has the ability to hand sketch. For some mysterious reason, clients love to see sketches. They almost do not question of your ability as an interior designer if they see that you have the ability to create hand-drawn sketches. And in fact, showing that you know how to sketch kind of confirms that you are truly an artist. So, connection between you and the space that you are designing. When you are working on a computer, this connection is kind of broken because it's no longer you designing the space with your hand and pencil. It's rather you just clicking on tools to make walls and windows. So this connection from working directly on a computer, it kind of pushes you away from truly feeling the space with your hands. And oftentimes it eliminates a lot of design possibilities. And do not get me wrong, design software are a blessing in today's world. But before landing our designs into a computer, your sketches and your designs should be very rough and unfinished. And the third reason, guys, is speed. Believe it or not, sketching is still the fastest way to express your design solutions and designs in a matter of minutes or even seconds. And I wish this wasn't the case, but when you are working on projects, time is never on your favor. So this really means that you have to be very fast in iterating your design ideas through hundreds of sketches that will probably never see the light of the day. But being able to create these hundreds of sketches requires of a more deep design thinking process, which is very important for interior designers. Would you believe me that sketching is really a universal language? I truly think so, because anyone can understand it. And this type of communication cannot be replaced with words 90% of the times. Guys, this is how serious it really gets. If your sketch or drawing is not communicating to your client, your sketch is basically useless. So sketching is really the only way that you can communicate your ideas and your solutions tangibly, is that a word? In paper. So communication is very important. If you're sketching, always keep at the back of your head that communication is really the purpose. And it is actually super important also because a lot of the times this communication happens in real time with clients. If you're sitting on a meeting with a client and you're just generating some cool ideas, if you can pull out a pencil and a paper and start sketching space and giving solutions to your clients in real time, they will really appreciate it. And it's also a very fast way to generate design solutions. Okay, I don't really know what is the percentage of designers that actually sketch in today's world. I really hope that it is more than 1%, but the reality is that each time, and especially with this fancy software that we have nowadays, designers are not really taking the time to learn this ability. In the past, there was no other way around it. You had to learn this skill. Otherwise, how would you show space to a client? But now we have SketchUp and all this cool stuff. But still, it's very important. Sketching, I don't think it's ever going to be replaced by a computer. Computer renders are amazing, are great. They look stunning. But sketches and being able to do things with your hands, I think it is even more amazing. And a lot of the times, guys, it is more helpful. So guys, with that, good luck on your sketching journey. Learning how to sketch, learning this skill and ability, it requires a lot of time, practice, and patience, and passion. So I would just recommend you to start. I know it can be a little bit intimidating. If you are like me 5 years ago, you'd probably even afraid or scared to grab a pencil. Overcome that fear and start sketching. What are you waiting for? Guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.